saddle sit for a couple hours after we put our oil in. It's evened out, it's penetrated deep into the fibers of the leather. The final step I do when I'm cleaning and conditioning a saddle is I apply what we call a leather dressing. If you hear the term leather dressing or leather conditioner, it's the same product. Some people call them conditioners. Traditionally it was called a dressing. Our product that we make is called, it's an all-natural leather dressing. What a dressing is it's more of a solid. It's got waxes, tallows, and some oils into it. Our product is all natural, and the importance of all natural is there's no petroleum products in here. There's no silicones in here. A lot of the products that you'll find on the market, on the shelves, they've got petroleum products in them, or silicones, and that's not good for leather. It's not good for leather fibers. It doesn't let the leather fibers breathe properly. Certain thread used in saddlery will break down with petroleum. If you've had your stitching come apart on your saddle and you don't know why, it's possibly because you've been using a product that has petroleum in it. This product, some people put on too heavy. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to put it on. Again, I use a piece of sheepskin typically, or you can use your hands. And you're going to start to apply it. A lot of people put it on too heavy. Again, I start from the top and I work myself down and I work this into the leather. It's got waxes and tallows, and it's good to get that back into the leather. That type of material was taken out during the cleaning process. It's going to waterproof the leather a little bit. It's going to add the fats back in that the leather needs. But you don't want to overdo it. You want to just put on a light coat, especially when it comes to saddles that are tooled. They have floral carving or geometric stamping like a basket stamp. I see a lot of people cake it on really thick. They'll cake it on really thick and they'll walk away, and a day or so later they'll see white inside their decorative cuts or their floral carving or their geometric stamping. It's because they put it on too heavy and they didn't work it in properly. Another way you can do that, since this saddle doesn't have any geometric stamping or carving or tooling, I'm a little more comfortable putting it on just a little bit heavier. But if you did have some geometric carving, some geometric stamping, something like that, another method that you can do is you just use your hands. Some guys will use their bare hands. I like to use rubber gloves. Take some of that out, and the heat from your hands will turn that solid material into more of a liquid. And you can work that into the tooling or the carving that's on your leather. Again, you're not getting it in very thick. And then what I also like to do if there was carving or stamping on this is I come back with either a piece of sheepskin and I work the excess back out of that tooling and that stamping, or a great thing to use is a shoe shine brush. If you take a shoe shine brush and you work that into that carving and that stamping, it will pull the excess out, and you won't have that film that develops in there after it dries. The other thing when you are applying dressings to leather, heat is your friend. I keep a hair dryer. I don't know where this hair dryer came from, but any kind of hair dryer would do. And I will apply heat to that area that I've put the dressing on, and that will allow the dressing to penetrate deeper into the leather, and you won't have that white film that comes back once it dries. If it were a warm day, I might once I'm done with the dressing, I may set the saddle out in the sun for about an hour, and again let that heat make that dressing penetrate deeper in. Right now it's January here in Colorado, so I wouldn't do that. I do have a wood stove over here going. I might put this maybe 5 feet away from my wood stove just to heat up the leather and let that dressing really penetrate in. The thing with dressings, not only is it good that it's got all natural properties in it, you don't want it to stay tacky. There's a lot of products out there on the market, some very popular ones actually, that days later the leather's still tacky. You don't want that. Once this dries and soaks into the leather, you should be able to come back with a cloth or a brush and buff it out, and it should feel slick. Our product has beeswax in it. It's got a little bit of carnauba wax, and it should buff to a shine. It shouldn't stay tacky. The products that stay tacky will attract dirt, and it'll actually defeat the purpose of what you're trying to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put leather dressing on everything that we oiled, but where I am going to put it very heavy is on areas, again, that are exposed to the body of the horse. The underside of my fenders here, I'm going to put it on pretty thick and work it in there. Thick enough that I may have to come back later and wipe off the excess that didn't soak in. My stirrup leathers, I'm going to put it on very thick. This product I do put on Latigo because a lot of what goes into Latigo leather is what is in this product. It's fats and oils and tallows, and I'll put it on lightly on my strings, and I'll put it on my Latigos, and that makes them come back to life again. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this whole saddle. I'm going to hit it with some heat, and I'm going to brush it off. As you see, I'm putting it on pretty thick here on the back of my fenders. Another part of the saddle that sees the most dirt and sweat is your rear cinch. Your rear cinch is always in contact with that horse's belly. It's getting that sweat and salt, and being the location that it is under the horse is walking, kicking up dust and dirt that's sticking to that sweaty leather. When I cleaned this yesterday, when I cleaned the saddle, I soaked this rear cinch for a good 10 minutes in a bucket of water. I soaked it about 3 times just to try to get the dirt out of it, and then I will hit this very thoroughly with the leather dressing, because again, this is a part of the saddle that really sees the most dirt and sweat. All right, the cleaning and conditioning of this saddle is now complete. After applying leather dressing to all the areas that needed the dressing put on, I took the hair dryer to it. I took my shoe shine brush and brushed off any excess. And then I put it by my wood stove for about an hour. It's about 2 hours ago we put this leather dressing on, and already it's starting to feel nice and slick and waxy. It doesn't have that sticky, tacky, greasy feel anymore. To some of you, this process of cleaning and conditioning a saddle might seem a little bit labor intensive, but it's what it takes to properly maintenance your saddles. You know, a good quality saddle, you want it to last the rest of your life, and with proper maintenance you can do that. I will warn you, there's a lot of products out there on the market that claim to clean and condition all in one step. I would steer clear of products like that, because if they claim that they can clean and condition all in one step, they're not doing either one very good. But unfortunately they use that gimmick because they want to make it sound easy to clean your saddles. All the products we used here can be found on our website, duffsleathercare.com. If you have any questions of me on how to properly take care of your saddles and tack, please feel free to reach out to me on the same website. Thank you.